I studied abroad in Spain. So I'm back in the United States after studying in Dublin for 4 months. My program was with IES Abroad, and it was the writers program. So we focused a lot on building portfolios throughout the semester. Something in particular about the IES writers program I loved is the family that we created as the writers. They're all such talented people, and they really motivated me and inspired me. I really miss them. And I was so grateful to the teachers there too, especially my main muffin, Stephen McMahon is the greatest man on earth. I miss you, Stephen. He would start every class off with tea and biscuits, and I just wish every professor would do that. They really were tailoring my academic experience to be heavily focused on Ireland. And I really appreciated that because I felt like I got to know that territory and the landscape really well from that educational experience. I got a really good community feel from being in Dublin. There's a lot of parks, there's a lot of free museums, so it's enticing the population to get out of their homes and be in the city. I loved that sense of community. I really liked the mindsets that I had in Dublin. I was way more eager to explore things. And because, I knew I was there for 4 months, which was long enough that I knew I had a lot of time to explore the country very deeply, but also a short enough time that I felt an urgency to explore as much as I could, as soon as I could. I also had a bucket list that I made before I went, so let's see how many of the things I actually managed to accomplish. I didn't actually go to many castles in Ireland, but I did go to quite a few in Eastern Europe, and I did feel very regal getting to walk through the palaces. I was a self-dubbed queen when we went on the Game of Thrones tour, so I guess that also counts as getting to be royalty for a time. Strangest potato dish I probably had was this thing called a boxty. It was at the Boxty House, and it's like a potato pancake served with a stew. It was very good. Did I perfect my Dublin accent? I don't know if that's necessarily true. I think I got better. I did learn that they don't talk like leprechauns and they get really offended if you think they do. I actually went to a lovely farm called Cassie Farm in Rock Farm. Okay, I'm gonna stop doing the accent. But it was, I did pet many animals. I pet a sheep, I pet goats more. I saw sheep on these rolling pastures. That was like the most stereotypical Irish moment I think I had. The festivals I went to St. Patrick's Day Festival, woohoo! And I went to the Offset Creative Festival, which was a really cool place for creatives in Dublin, and all people from all over the world were there. I went to a book festival in Dunleary because I just can't hold this nerd back. There were so many beautiful places to hike in Ireland. The landscape is to die for. There was something so stimulating and inspiring about getting to walk these beautiful spots of nature, and I think it really made my writing better. I was just so inspired. I did it. I really did it. My roommates were so embarrassed and didn't want to be seen with me, but I sang Ed Sheeran's Galway Girl in the public square of Galway. One of my favorite things about being in Dublin is that I was visiting a new location like every weekend. Some of them were local Irish towns, others were completely different countries. Overall, the places I traveled to, I went to Amsterdam, Berlin, Prague, Bratislava, Vienna, Paris, Munich and other small towns around Bavaria, and Budapest. And then in Ireland, I went to Dunleary, Blackrock, Howth, Galway, the Cliffs of Moher, West Cork, Inchydoney, and I went to Belfast. It was so cool getting to visit all these countries and meet all the people there and really just compare and contrast how a culture affects a society and how people are different and what they value. It's wonderful. I made so many friends just spontaneously being in places, and it's just crazy that my social circle is now the world. Like if you show me a map and point at it, I probably have a friend there now, and that's really cool. Some of my top favorite experiences that I had in Dublin, I did high tea with my mom at the Marion Hotel, where they serve you, you know, the traditional pastries and scones and finger sandwiches, and then they serve you desserts that have been inspired by famous paintings and are designed by their professional chef. I had a really fun St. Patrick's Day, and not for reasons you might think. Kind of amazing to be at the place where it all begins, you know, and like people come from all over the world to celebrate St. Patrick's Day in Ireland. It's kind of mad. A fun event I did was a sketch call with my friend, and we joined a group of artists, and for 7 hours we walked all across Dublin sketching things, and I loved that. On that note, we also went to the Chester Beatty Library, which was my favorite library museum in Dublin. Lastly, I feel like I just have to settle a debate. Bobo's is the best burger in Dublin. There, I said it. It's Bobo's. Bunsen is great, don't get me wrong, but the only thing it has on Bobo's is the bun. But if we're talking about the burger as a whole, Bobo's is the best burger in Dublin. Things I missed in America were American outlets and water. We just have a lot more water fountains in America, and I drink a lot of water. Well, it's nice to be back home, and it's really nice to see my friends and get back into routine here. I do miss the routines I set up in Dublin. I miss the people I met in Dublin. And, you know, after reflecting on the whole experience, I realized I still have a lot more that I want to do in Dublin and Ireland in general. So I will definitely be going back. Thank you so much, IES, for everything you do to make these student experiences so unique and so valuable. I really can't wait to come see the staff again when I visit Dublin. I miss them all. They really took care of us. They really did. Well, I think that'll be it for now. Ireland is great crack, and sláinte.